Hi friends, welcome back to the Pentaho BI one-on-one. Today in this screencast we will see the installation of the CTools library. CTools library is an amazing host of plugins which has been built by a company called Web Details, and Web Details has recently been acquired by Pentaho. So in this screencast we are going to see three different ways of installing the CTools library. The first being using the CTools installer, the second being installing the individual plugins using the jar files, and the third being installing using the Pentaho marketplace. So let's begin. To begin with, I have opened up the Pentaho user console. You should be able to see here a ribbon on top with a lot of icons. Once we install plugins, they get added up to this ribbon to make it easier for the developers to access. As a part of this video, as we install the CTools plugins, they would appear here and would also be part of the main menu. Let's move to the website of CTools library. CTools has a host of plugins that enable you ease of development in various ways and extend the functionality of Pentaho BI suite. We would see three different ways to install the CTools library in the screencast. You can follow the blog to read more description of each of these methods and choose which one is best for you. The first one is the CTools installer. We will download the zip file from the GitHub repository, and we will see that it contains the README and the shell script to execute and install these plugins. Now moving to our command prompt, we will copy the current installer that we have downloaded into a working directory. At the moment, my Pentaho itself is my working directory. So I'll copy it here and unzip. As we see, there are two files over here. One is the README and one the CTools installer.sh. And as we open up the README, we can look at the syntax to use for the installation of the CTools library. Now we will give the command of the CTools installer to install a library with two arguments. One is -s for the solution path, which is going to be my Pentaho solutions, and then -w argument showing the path where the Pentaho web apps is installed inside the Tomcat folder. Let me just double check the path that I have given. Yes, this is correct. Now at the moment, I would only install a couple of plugins using this method and thus say no to most of them and yes to only CDF and Saiku. CDF does not come as part of the plugins that you can go ahead and create directly, but Saiku will, so we will see how. It is presently downloading the CDF, and then it will download the Saiku and then do the installation for each of them. You actually can install the entire CTools library using this installer, which is very simple. Now we will remove the installers that we have downloaded, and then we will restart the Pentaho BI server for the plugins to take effect. Now as the server has restarted, we will first log into a user console. Great. Now logging into the user console, we can go to the file and then we can open up the psychoanalytics. You can select any of the cubes that we require. But if you notice, at the moment we still don't see the psycho icon on top of the ribbon. So we can try refreshing the page. Here we go, and now we have the psycho icon. By clicking on this icon, we see the psychoanalytics has opened, and now we can go ahead and select the cube and select a couple of our measures and dimension values, and we can see the results refresh. And now we can try our hands on the sample cubes. Now moving on to the second method of installation is a manual installation of each of the plugins inside the CTools library. So we will go back to our Community Tools website and we will go to the CDE to try and install the CDE. We can download the CDE latest.jar. So each of the plugins actually come in the form of the jar file, and as we download, we can go to the command prompt and first copy this jar file into a working directory. Once we have done that, we can run a simple command of java-jar and give the jar path to bring up a pop-up screen which will help us in the installation of this particular library. Here we go. We go next, and then it asks the path of the solution folder. So I will browse to my Pentaho solutions folder, which is the Pentaho solutions, and choose that as the path. And then I say next, and voila, the entire installation will be done for us for CDE. Now we need to restart our BI server and then relog into the Pentaho user console to see the plugin take effect in the user interface. As we have restarted and relogged into the Pentaho user console, we see the CDE icon has now come up on the top. We can directly click on this icon and create a new CDE dashboard for us. You can also see there are a couple of examples, styles and widgets. We can even try and run a sample CDA. CDE and CDA, since you remember in the first step we have already installed the CDA, they both work together because CDE essentially uses CDA for all its data accesses. Now we will move on to the next and the final method of installation, which is going to the ci.pentaho.com and using the Pentaho marketplace to install our CTools library. So we search for the marketplace, we go to the marketplace 4.8 because we are doing installation on 4.8, and we will download the zip file or the tar.gz file for installing our marketplace plugin, which will help us to install the rest of the CTools library. Now we will again copy this entire the zip file that we have downloaded into our current working directory and then unzip the contents. We will see a folder of marketplace is created over here, and we're going to copy this and we'll put into the Pentaho solution system directory of our Pentaho 4.8. We can go to this directory and check that it has been copied. Now for this plugin to take effect, again we will need to restart our BI server. Let me skip a bit ahead, and now the server has restarted, and we will log in into the Pentaho user console to see this particular plugin. You will see there is an icon that appears on the top which shows the Pentaho marketplace. As we click on this icon, it should connect to the server and show all the plugins that are available in the marketplace and also the installed plugins which are currently there installed. But the problem is that this particular plugin is not working at the moment, and nobody knows an answer why. It has already been logged as a ticket to Pentaho that this plugin does not work anymore, and I have a reference of this particular thing in my blog as well. If this plugin works, then essentially this is one of the best ways to install each of the plugins, because as a marketplace concept it is amazing, because you will be able to know what versions of your plugins are installed already in your system, and you will be able to update those plugins as and when required and keep it synchronous between all your development, so that if one installation has a plugin 1.0, then the other installation also has plugin 1.0. So it's a quick and easy way to check and also install the rest of the plugins. So that's it from my side today. I hope you like it. Thank you so much.